I am the end of the words book review, and I'm behind on these. I have this one and one more to do, and I imagine by the time I do the next one, I'll already have another one to do, and I already have my next two books I'm going to read picked out. So, I decided I'd knock this one out at the very least. Although it has been minimum 2 weeks since I read this book, so I'm not super fresh on it, but my opinions are still very valid. We're talking about Steve Barry's The Charlemagne Pursuit. Steve Barry writes a lot of historical fiction that are based around certain historical facts and then just wild conjecture. This is the fourth in the series of the Adventures of Cotton Malone, and it's, I believe, his ninth book overall. I did this, even though this is the fourth in the Cotton Malone series. This is the first Cotton Malone book I've read. The other Steve Barry book I read was the Columbus Affair, I believe it was, and I really enjoyed the Columbus Affair. I was a big fan of the Columbus Affair. So going to this, I was expecting the same kind of adventure, the same kind of good times, and I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it because I like historical fiction. I like where things go. I like how, I guess it's the basis of historical fiction, is things that are not real and, put with things that did happen. But the one problem I have with this, and I hope it's not all of Steve Barry's, I hope it's not all of Steve Barry's books that he does this. I feel like the Nazis were just kind of shoehorned into this thing. It was kind of unnecessary to even mention them. I get why it happened. I understand that. I understand that the Nazis fucked with history in a major way, in every way. But it seemed like they were going a certain direction and the Nazis were going to be blamed. And then it was like, no, they were just kind of a footnote. But the story is Cotton Malone's father he died in a submarine in the Arctic, and it was covered up by the government. So Cotton Malone wanted to find out what actually happened. I guess he discovered the cover up at some point. He gets the paper of what happened, finds out that it was actually not. It wasn't even the same sub that he died in. It was in another place, and that they never went to look for him. So he launched his own investigation. There's these twin sisters who are interested in the same thing because their father was involved in the expedition that went in this submarine, and the whole basis, the whole idea around it is that they were investigating the roots of a super early advanced civilization that influenced our civilization, and not just ours, but the civilizations through history. Like they're the ones that taught the Incans, they're the ones that taught the Mayans, they're the ones that taught all of the other civilizations, and it's this lost civilization, and they found it in the Arctic under the like inside of a mountain you know in Antarctica, and there's a lot of political ties going on in this. A lot of, you know, uh, I think it's the head of the Navy, maybe the head of the Navy is trying to keep everything under wraps and wants to, not let it get out. At the same time, he's trying to keep his own job, and he has an assassin that works for him. There are an amount of characters in here that almost seems unnecessary, and then even at the end, they kind of just every one of them seems expendable, except for the ones are going to live or the ones are going to die. But there's a lot of expendable characters in this. A lot of characters that they seem to be just created out of nothing and don't have any substance to them, but they're only made to do one little plot point and they disappear and they're not in the rest of the book. It's all right. It's a bit messy at times. It's still a complete story, and it does wrap itself up and end nicely. But I don't know if I will be gung ho about another Cotton Malone story. At least one that maybe if I started off with the first one, maybe if I read the first Cotton Malone's book first, or if I maybe the one after this, I don't know, because I like Steve Barry. This is my second adventure to Steve Barry. I can say I do like Steve Barry's writing. This one not as good as Columbus Affair, but all in all, I'd have to give this a 6.5 out of 10 because I did like it, I did enjoy it, but you don't need to shoehorn the Nazis and everything. And that's coming from me, who, if I see a book with a swastika on it and it's not Mein Kampf, I buy it because I like novels about it. It's an interesting subject to me. and as I say every time, I do not endorse the swastika. I do not endorse the Nazi way of thinking. I do not endorse any of that fascism. But it seemed shoehorned in here. It seemed forced and unnecessary, along with many of the characters. And let's be honest, some of the adventures. There was a lot of travel in this book. They went all over the world, and a lot of it seemed kind of generic. There was a bit of Da Vinci Code esque things going on at certain points, and it just was like, okay, let's get to the point. Come on, let's roll. Um, but the like I said, all in all, Steve Barry, it was good. 6.5 out of 10. Knocking this out quick. Thank you for watching. Where do I hold it? There we go.